Let's go, baby.
Hey,
Let's go.
I just want to change the world. I just want the perfect girl. I don't want to hang around. I'd rather be found. It gets better. I wonder my pleasure together. Everyone's waiting, anticipating. Change the world, but I'm not gonna wait my turn. I don't ever want to come down. I'd rather be found. It gets better. I wonder my pleasure together. Everyone's waiting, anticipating.
All right.
You, I will never be alone again.
Let's go.
I'm immune to the things they said. My heart's unbreaking.
Your radiant truth.
I know that you will understand because I finally found myself.
My heart's unbreaking. Your radiant. Your radiant. My world. Yeah. Woo. Let's go. I can't pretend. No. I hope it never ends. It's about you. I will never be alone again. I'm immune to the things they said. My heart's unbreaking. Your radiant truth. What's up? I know that you will understand because I finally found myself.
My heart's unbreaking. You're radiant.
You're radiant. Let's go. Let's go, baby. Dude, we're vibing, bro. We're vibing. How we doing on this beautiful Saturday evening? Which is like a very unusual fucking evening for me. You know why? Because A, we're starting early, 9:30 instead of 11. So that's a start. The other thing that's unusual is I haven't had any caffeine for several hours. I stopped drinking caffeine early so I can actually get some sleep because I have to get up like 7 a.m. to go to the Mariners game tomorrow, which I'm pretty excited about. Dude, how we doing? How's life? How are we living? on this fine fucking Saturday evening? Doing good? Yeah, dude, today was a good YouTube day. Every video was like a 1 of 10. That's a fucking banger day. We don't get that a lot, right? Where every video is just cranking. Nice and relaxing. That's good. I mean, it's been a pretty chill news cycle. I mean, the only thing I really noticed, right? The only thing I really noticed about today is obviously Trump is hyping up the whole Adam Schiff thing, right? I mean, it's funny, right? Because Donald Trump, you know, did some illegal shit and, right, and had some consequences. But now there's like 50 people that are all getting investigated, right? I love how they use the word lawfare, right? They use the word lawfare while it seems like every single Democrat Trump doesn't like is currently getting investigated. But that's not lawfare. Not at all. Apart from the existential dread, you're doing good. Yeah, no, there is definitely some existential dread happening. You know what I'm saying? Like absolute existential dread going on. I'm feeling pretty good about things. I am, dude. I feel like, I don't know, man. I mean, I know it's like dark before the dawn, right? You have this darkness before the dawn, and I know that Trump is like trying real hard. You know what I'm saying? Like Trumpy is trying real hard to fucking, you know, I don't know, cause as much chaos and damage as he can. But I just feel like, I don't know, man. I feel like we are being pretty resilient at the moment. You know, there's a lot of fight going on. I want to start by watching that video with Brian Tyler Cohen about Texas that somebody put in the Discord. I believe it's, you know, it's about Texas and Greg Abbott, because I know, obviously we know that these guys, you know, gerrymandering a state in the middle of the fucking election to remove a bunch of existing districts and say like, hey, voters, we're going to take your votes away for the next election in the middle of this thing just to try to fucking help Trump. That's pretty dirty. And so that fight, you're in San Antonio. I'm sorry you're in Texas. That fight feels like central to America. I saw a little clip too that I'm going to share with you of that idiot. You know, remember Valentina Gomez? Remember, she's the girl from Colombia that like ramps up her accent and you know, is always talking about like she's super anti-gay people. She ran for like Secretary of State in Missouri and just got clobbered, dude, because she's so crazy. But she moved to Texas to run for Congress in Texas. She literally relocated there because she is such a clown that she's like trying so desperately to get into Congress. So but she interrupted like a Beto O'Rourke speech or whatever, and like is making a scene to make content. You know how these MAGA people do, right? That's what they do, right? You know, that's what they love to do. They love to go and fucking, you know, like create a disturbance to make content, right? It's not even real. They're not doing anything real. They're just, you know, like running into a building with somebody filming them so they can like yell something that the people on stage can't even hear. Nobody in the auditorium can hear. But they're not talking to the people in the auditorium, right? They're talking to the camera, right? Dude, Dean Cain, oh my God. Yeah, let's talk about him for a second. What a fucking loser, bro. I mean, first off, dude, yeah, we're gonna start with Dean Cain because I retweeted something a short while ago, right? look at this. Okay, so Dean Cain, this guy like had a brief TV career in the 90s. Everybody, thanks for liking the stream. We appreciate you. Right? A brief, I mean, he was on the Superman TV show, whatever. This guy's career is effectively over. So now he's doing this to like drum up his career. You know, maybe he'll get in an Angel Studios movie or some shit. Right? But the fact of the matter is, dude, his grandparents were interned in one of the fucking Japanese camps in World War II, dude. This guy, what makes a person do that, right? This guy's parents, his grandparents, were put in one of those internment camps. And so he decided to join ICE to put undocumented people in internment camps. Like, who does that? You know what I mean? Like, how? I don't understand how somebody can do that. You know what I mean? That to me is like just incredibly baffling. You know? Yeah, he joined ICE, right? This is what you do when your career is fucking zonked, bro. Right? That's what you do, right? Dude, crazy, huh? Right? Isn't that wild? Dude, you thought he was white? I mean, he's white passing, right? It says a lot about America, right? When we talk about, Americans never want to confront their racism and shit like that. But, like, why did Nikki Haley anglicize her name when she ran in South Carolina? Why do people that go into Hollywood become as white passing as possible? Right? I mean, gee, I wonder. Oh, there's no racism here. Just, Nimrata becomes Nikki Haley, right? Okay. And you did that because, there's no racism here? Because diversity is so welcome in the Republican Party? Or did you do that because you had to do that if you wanted to have a career in politics in the Republican Party? Huh? But yeah, man, this shit is crazy. And dude, I saw something else today too, right? While we're talking about this, because his Japanese grandparents were imprisoned in an internment camp. He signs up for ICE. I guess the $50K bonus is going to be a big deal for him. And he's hoping it's going to spark his career, right? He's going to come back. I'm calling it now. Okay. Dean Cain, this guy is going to come back from his stint with ICE, and he's not going to work there very long. He's going to do a stint with ICE, and then he's going to start a podcast. I'll bet you $1 million that it feels like podcast, bro. Doesn't it? Doesn't it feel like that's going to be the thing? He's going to go do the ICE thing. He's going to make short form content during it. And then when he comes out, he's going to start a podcast. Okay? And he's going to, oh shit, dude. Dude, I remember when the real Superman. Yeah, I don't remember, but yeah, I feel like that's the stint. But so there was another thing I saw today, right? Was about this one. Did you see? Let me show you this, right? There was sorry, I have the baseball game cast here. It's fucking 9th inning. Yeah, I had to cut the baseball game short to stream, so I'm a little distracted. But so there was a reply that I left. It's about the Guatemalan woman, okay? This thing right here. Because look at this shit, okay? This woman, let's watch this clip real quick. Okay, she's speaking at an event where there's a lot of Guatemalan people. She's from Guatemala, right? And she's in Congress, but here's what she says. Okay, so what she said there was she said I am Guatemalan before I'm American, is what she said. Which, I mean, to me, I don't really have an issue with that. I understand, like, your Guatemalan heritage, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's fucking, she's not gonna lose ties with her Guatemalan heritage. I mean, there's a lot of, like, fucking whatever. You might have a Russian person here or a, Norwegian person that is still in touch with their fucking heritage, or Dominican or Japanese, right? Or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But they've been making a deal about this, okay? They've been making a deal about this where now a resolution has been filed to remove her from the committee, right? Just because she was like speaking to a room full of Guatemalans and saying, oh yeah, I'm Guatemalan before I'm an American. And it's like, this is the free speech party, guys, right? This is the free speech party, guys, that's doing this. These are the people that have been crying about free speech for 5 fucking years, bro. Right? And they want to remove her from the committee, and now they want to remove her from the House. The free speech party does, right? Isn't that crazy? And if you look in these comments, dude, they're like, everybody's in here, remove her from Congress. She's violated her oath, right? Dude, you know what I mean? This is the party of free speech, guys. Now, here's what I don't get. Is how do we let these motherfuckers get away with being the party of free speech? You know what I mean? Like, we need to do Willem with the gifted. Let's go, baby. Dude, we have to do something here where we can no longer let these clowns be allowed to call themselves like the party of free speech and the party of freedom when they are so like straight up about, clamping down on speech, taking away your privileges if you say the wrong thing. You know what I mean? I mean, dude, the whole thing is just clownery, right? It is clownery. Now, granted, it's coming from Nick Sortor, all right? This is the guy who harasses female journalists. Can I just show you? Can I show you the guy who did this? I know I've shown this clip. It's like my favorite clip on the internet. Nick Sortor, you ready? Oh, man, dude. 𝗪𝗍𝗪𝗀 is who he did it to. Watch this clip, dude. Oh, this is great. This is 𝗪𝗍𝗪𝗀, okay? She is a journalist who used to be here in Portland. She used to be a journalist for our local news station here in Portland. Now she's on a national news desk, okay? And was working with Lester Holt, all right? So Nick Sortor here with the man boobs, you see him? He's got some of those Don Jr. tits right here that he's sporting. He decides he's gonna harass her out in public and he's gonna like corner her. But when she walks away and doesn't want to talk to him, he's like trying to get in front of her. So his sound guy here is like deciding to, hey man, like, why don't you stop trying to impede her movement? You know what I'm saying? And so watch this clip. Dude, this is one of my favorite clips in the internet, bro. You ready? Watch. Here we go.
So, quick question for you real quick. So it seems like a lot of the questions that you were asking, it doesn't seem to like address the issue, the actual issues in the, dude, don't touch me, bro. Don't touch me, bro. No, I'm just asking, like, because there's an increase in crime in the area. It seems like there's a lot more of a problem here. The questions almost seemed like you were trying to turn him into a victim. Do not touch me.
Back up.
Do not touch me.
Dude, back up.
Back up. Do not.
Back up.
Dude, get the fuck off of me now!
Back up. Back up. It ain't gotta be like that.
Dude!
You do not fucking touch me, okay?
Oh, yeah, get all tough, dude!
You back up, bro.
Dude, look at that! Oh, shit! Do not touch me! Dude, he's such a crybaby, bro! Oh, dude, Nick Sortor. Oh, boo, 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 boo. Boo, 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 boo. Right? Dude, reverse Darwinism right there. Dude, I love that clip. He's all trying to get in front of her. You know, he's like, oh, right? But it was all, this was when they were trying to say that the Haitian people were eating their pets, okay? And the reporters were there being like, wow, what kind of chaos is this causing? These people that are telling lies about the Haitian immigrants, right? So Haitian immigrants are getting like attacked and shit. And dude, he is such a fucking crybaby, dude. Oh, one more time, because I love it. Because I can't get enough of this. Oh, hold on, there's one more pitch, dude. Let's see if he fucking strikes him out. Hold on, I got the fucking the game cast going on here. 2 outs, two men on. There's a guy, brand new guy, strike looking. Oh shit, he's out. Game over. Let's go, Mariners. Let's go, Munoz. All right, good deal. Dude, that feels bad, dude. The tying run was on base, and this guy who was in like his second major league game came up with 2 men on. He could have tied the game if he hit a homer, but he hasn't had a hit yet. So the likelihood of him hitting a homer was not very high, right? Oh, shit. Dude, but this guy is so Weasley, dude. All right, here we go. One more. I love this clip. Dude, this clip is just so good, dude. Don't touch me. Don't fucking touch me. Afterwards, he's like, don't fucking touch me. All right, here we go.
So, quick question for you, real quick. So, it seems like a lot of the questions that you were asking, it doesn't seem to like address the issue, the actual issues in the. Dude, don't touch me, bro. Don't touch me, bro. No. I'm just asking, like, you know, because there's an increase in crime in the area. It seems like there's a lot more of a problem here. The questions almost seemed like you were trying to turn him into a victim. Do not touch me.
Back up.
Do not touch me.
Dude, back up. Back up.
Do not.
Back up.
Dude,
Get the fuck off of me now!
Dude.
Back up. It ain't gotta be like that.
Dude.
Just back up.
You do not fucking touch me, okay?
Back up.
You back up, bro. Right now.
Ain't what it gotta be.
Dude. Oh, shit. Dude, that guy would have tossed him around, bro. Oh, man. Love that clip, dude. And then look at this, right? Look at what he says. He actually posts it and he says, I personally confronted the MSNBC News reporter here in Springfield, Ohio, who is now on TV with Lester Holt blaming President Trump for his own assassination attempt. I mean, dude, he speaks violence, you get violence, you know? And she tried to have me arrested. I attempted to ask 𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪 why she is pushing violent, divisive rhetoric on behalf of the Harris campaign, which leads to leftist clowns. I mean, it was a right-winger who tried to kill Trump. She then ran away and called the cops, with 4 units responding in a police department with incredibly tight resources. Oh, shit, dude. What a fucking clown, bro. Oh, my God, dude. He's a clown. And I'm like, I was like, dude, you're being a real weird fucking stalker, dude. Get away from people if they don't want to talk to you. You motherfuckers think you can get right up in everyone's faces. Oh, shit. Personal space, bitch. Dude. Oh, I love it. Dude. Oh, shit. That's crazy, bro. He got all fucking torqued. Dude, yeah, seriously. I love that. But yeah, so that's the guy, though. Just for the record, this is the guy who's like demanding that the woman who said she's Guatemalan before she's American, he's demanding she be removed from Congress. The party of free speech, my brothers. What are we doing, bro? Jesus. Isn't that wild? All right. Dude, let's watch the BTC video. Okay? We're gonna get into it. We're gonna have a short one. Right? Ever since the Astros cheated, didn't care, you hate them. Yeah, nobody likes the Astros. I mean, nobody really likes Texas, to be honest with you. But all right, let's see what we got here with BTC and the
Meet this moment with the urgency that it deserves.
dude. All right, what is this? Okay. Dude, why is this all the way in here? I didn't even watch this, dude. Oh, I must have scrolled through it. I was like, dude, I haven't watched this video yet. But for a second there, I thought it was the one with 𝗙𝗏. All right, so this video just came out. I bet I was scrolling it to see who was in it, because I do that in the mornings. I go through all the YouTubes and I sort of like look and see what videos are hitting and not hitting when I wake up, and scroll through them to see who, like, if the YouTubers are having a guest, if they're doing news footage or yada yada yada. So like a way of silently monitoring. Here, I'll do a goal real quick. If we want to maybe have a dance party, we'll throw that out there. Always good to have a dance party goal. It's going to be short tonight though, guys, because like I said, I have to get up super early, and I'm going to try to get a video edited before tomorrow. There we go. We got a dance party goal. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Oh, shit. All right. So yeah, let's see this, because this is like one of the big fucking, am I watching a taped game? What do you mean? Watching a taped game when? Tomorrow? No, tomorrow I'm going to the game. I'm going to Seattle, right? I'm going to Seattle tomorrow. So I'm getting up. I have to get up at like the crack of dawn. Now I'm not watching a game. The game's over, right? I did have the game cast up. I was watching the night game, but that game's over. They won. But anyway, so the big heat here is obviously about the Texas Democrats, right? Where Beto is, you know what I'm saying? Beto and the Democrats in Texas, everyone is trying to fight this fucking unconstitutional and completely bullshit redistricting, where they're trying to get rid of Jasmine Crockett and trying to steal seats for the Republicans so they don't lose, okay? And so this is obviously Abbott is trying to fucking vacate the Democrat seats, okay? He's trying to say because they broke quorum, okay? Because they broke quorum, him and his criminal attorney general, Ken Paxton, who's taken bribes, by the way, they're trying to vacate their seats, okay? That's what they're trying to do, okay? They're trying to vacate the Democrat seats. Let me see. They're so scoundrelly. Start streaming 9:15. Just tonight, boss. Okay. Just tonight. But all right, so let's see where it is. You're on East Coast? Let's go. Oh, yeah. So you come in here at 6, right? You came in here at 6 o'clock? So where is it? All right. They're trying to hunt them down. We saw that little clip. But they did, maybe it was Paxton who did this. He must have been the guy who fucking did this. Dude, yeah, she is epic. But so this guy, this piece of shit, he's an adulterer. He's a bribe taker. He is corrupt. He's been impeached. Okay, he is a scoundrel. And so he says, where is it? Here it is. So he filed a lawsuit on Friday to try and vacate their seats. Dude, he is such a scumbag, bro. He is such a scumbag. These guys are such scumbags. But they're trying to vacate the seats. It is not illegal to break quorum, guys. Again, we had them do it here in Oregon all the time. We did get sick of it in Oregon, though, because the Republicans started doing it every single time. So what we did was we put a ballot measure on the ballot that said if you disappear for more than 10 days, you can't run for re-election. Okay, so we did it. But if Texas, you want to pass a ballot measure, go ahead. Although now they wouldn't be able to pass a ballot measure because they couldn't get a quorum to do that. So they're kind of stuck right now, right? Texas is fucking stuck. So they are a little bit bummed about like, and I mean, here's the deal, man. They could have just made a deal with these guys. Okay. The Democrats didn't start here. Okay. They were simply like, you know what, guys, you can't redistrict in the middle of a fucking decade. You know, nobody's ever done this. Nobody's fucking done this before. You're not doing it because it needs to be redistricted. The population hasn't changed. There hasn't been a new census. You're only doing this because Trump has asked you to do this to try to help him win the House. And dude, that's fucking as cheating as it gets. So fuck them and fuck their little games. I don't think it's going to work out for them. But anyway, the battle in Texas right now is the battle for democracy. Make no bones about it, okay? These guys are redistricting exclusively to benefit Trump in the midterms. And that's bullshit, dude. If we're going to allow that, then it's on. Then we're all going to redistrict, and we're going to redistrict 30 fucking seats. And fuck them, they're never going to win the House again. You know what I'm saying? It's like, if they want to pull that shit, dude.
I'm joined now by State Representative and Minority Leader Jean Wu. Thanks for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
So I want to discuss what's happening in Texas right now. We've seen a bunch of legal volleys being thrown at you from the Speaker of the Texas State House, from the Governor, Greg Abbott, from John Cornyn, from Ken Paxton. Your background is actually as a former prosecutor in Harris County. So you've pushed back. This is the first instance of one of these Texas Democrats pushing back.
Yeah, so we're going to start it over. Yeah, sorry about that. Remind me about that, guys. Because it's weird. I switched it to live chat, I thought. But when I popped it out, I think it defaulted back to top chat. But always remind me of that, guys, because sometimes I forget that. I'll try to put that on my little list of like, I have a little like pre-game list of things I go through. I know the default is top. It's so annoying. But I had switched it, but then I popped out the chat. And when I popped out the chat, I guess it reset it or something. Yeah, so dumb. But anyway, all right. Yeah, always remind me of that if you don't, because I like the live chat too, dude. I don't like that top chat weirdness. But all right, here we go.
I'm joined now by State Representative and Minority Leader Jean Wu. Thanks for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
So I want to discuss what's happening in Texas right now. We've seen a bunch of legal volleys being thrown at you from the Speaker of the Texas State House, from the Governor, Greg Abbott, from John Cornyn, from Ken Paxton. Your background is actually as a former prosecutor in Harris County. So you've pushed back. This is the first instance of one of these Texas Democrats pushing back against these legal maneuvers. Can you explain what you just did in court?
So we've filed a response to Governor Abbott's filing in the Texas Supreme Court.
Remember, he made a big deal like, oh, it's mandatory that these guys respond to me by Friday. Remember? So this is the guy talking about that response. I remember we talked about that the other night.
And our response is basically like, you are stupid. You filed this in the wrong court. You're not the right person to file it, and you filed it in the wrong way. Literally everything that the law requires, they failed to do. And this is bizarre because...
Dude, right? You see that? You filed it in the wrong court. You're not the right person to be filing. Like, it's almost like they're filing the shit, right? They're filing the shit to just, like, create the PR campaign. You know what I mean? Like, what are they doing, dude? The fucking...
The Texas Supreme Court. And our response is basically like, you are stupid. You filed this in the wrong court. You're not the right person to file it, and you filed it in the wrong way. Literally everything that the law requires, they failed to do. And this is bizarre because this is Greg Abbott. I mean, he's a licensed attorney. Before he was governor, he was the attorney general. Before he was attorney general, he was a Supreme Court justice. He was an appellate court judge. He was a district court judge. Like, this is like black letter, first year law school kind of information, right?
Yeah.
Like, what court are you filing in is basic first year knowledge. And they got it wrong. And I don't know if they got it wrong just to show off, or they got it wrong because they don't know any better. I don't know. I'm not sure which one's better or worse, that they're ignorant or they're lying to us.
Well, you know, the technical errors notwithstanding, I still imagine that the Texas court system is going to be more deferential to someone like Greg Abbott, given their political ideology than someone like you and your Texas Democratic colleagues. And so, is there any concern that if and when Greg Abbott finally figures out how to correctly wage these lawsuits against you guys, that there is some risk of, for example, your positions being
See, this is what I'm wondering about, because we've seen Greg Abbott. Here's what it reminds me of. Greg Abbott and Ken Paxton, they remind me of parents who have a teenager that is just wildly out of control. And so they are threatening them with, like, we're going to take your skis away. We're going to take your car away. We're going to take, you're going to be grounded for a month. We're going to, right? They're just threatening the world. Every day it's a new threat. We're going to do this. We're filing with the Supreme Court. We're vacating your seat. We're 500 a day. You know what I mean? And bribery charges and all this shit. But I assumed that the Democrats, the Texas Democrats who broke quorum, had already done their homework on this. Okay? Because quorum's been broken in significant ways. In Oregon here, there was a 43-day standoff. They've done it before. So, and, you know, these guys went to California where there's, you know, top legal teams. Gavin Newsom, the lawyers in California are insane. They met with Gavin Newsom. They went and met with 𝗡𝗵𝗏, right? You know what I'm saying? So I naturally assumed that these guys have all their legal ducks in a row to knowing that these Republicans are going to threaten everything. But I have a little bit of worry of, like, I hope they did that. And even with that, is there any technicalities where they can get sort of hosed by this? So I'm glad that Brian's asking this question, because, you know, I'm intrigued about their return volley plan for Greg Abbott and Ken Paxton just throwing everything but the kitchen sink at them.
Democratic colleagues. And so, is there any concern that if and when Greg Abbott finally figures out how to correctly wage these lawsuits against you guys, that there is some risk of, for example, your positions being vacated by virtue of the quorum break?
So, yeah, there is a real concern. If they follow the law, if they do what the law says they're supposed to do, then they need to throw the case out. The real fear is that, look, the Supreme Court justices, they were all appointed by Abbott. Right. They all got their position by his appointment. And the fear is that he's going to make little calls to them at night and say, hey.
Right. That's what it is, that they're not going to follow the law and they're going to make some judgment of, like, Greg Abbott's buddies.
You remember how you got here, right?
Yeah.
Okay, don't forget, right? And if they follow the law, there's nothing to this. But if they say, you know, we're going to take care of our boss, and that to hell to what the law says, that's what we're afraid of, right? And we're hoping it doesn't get there. And I think it's a sad day if that happens, because, like, whatever poison has infected the White House has now spread to the State House. And I hope it has not spread to the courthouse as well.
Yeah, see, I mean, that would be rather, like, I wonder what they would do then, because then they would have to, I'm sure they would appeal it, and they would take it to the U.S. Supreme Court, right? You know what I mean? There would have to be some sort of appeal. How big is the Texas Supreme Court? I don't know. I mean, whoops. I always do that shit. It's probably 11 or 13, or it's 9. It's 9. Right? And their Supreme Court there is, they're all appointed by him. Is it 9? I wouldn't be surprised if it's all. Yeah, all Republicans. Holy shit. Dude, isn't that crazy? Dude, every fucking every Supreme Court justice in Texas is Republican. That's insane. Because if you look at like the Texas Senate results, okay, I mean, dude, you know, the Senate election was like 53 to 45. You know what I'm saying? I mean, dude, an 8% victory, but their Supreme Court is 100% Republican. That's crazy, right? You know what I mean? I mean, isn't that nuts? Dude, like no liberal Supreme Court justices in Texas at all? Isn't it wild? That shit is just fucking, you know. Yeah, I know they talk a lot of shit about California, right? You know what I mean? But the thing about this, the worrisome thing is if they go rogue, right? If they go rogue and they don't follow the law. However, it gets hard because if they don't follow the law in a blatant sort of way, then that becomes a liability as well, because then it becomes obvious corruption. You know what I'm saying?
Because, you know, we don't have a lot of things left to infect.
Yeah.
And this is a real fear.
You know, I feel like there was a time where Texans would have taken pride in not being told what to do by a New Yorker. And yet all of these Texas Republicans seem perfectly content to bow down to some slimy snake oil salesman from Queens.
No, and that's the thing, right? I mean, Texans, Texas governors, whether they were Democrats or Republicans, whether the president was a Democrat or Republican, Texans' attitudes always have been, okay, that's nice for you. We're going to do whatever we want to do.
Right.
Right. And
right.
That's been the Texas way since like the very beginning. To have a governor just bend the knees so casually, just to lick the boots, you know, with such energy.
Dude, Greg Abbott is like, I feel like he's the definition of bootlicker. Don't you? It's like Kermit the Frog meets bootlicker meets Hot Wheels.
It's so unbecoming of a Texan.
Yeah.
Like there's no independence, there's no free will, there's no free spirit. You're just another bootlicker.
For posterity here, can you speak on why Greg Abbott's lawsuit was ill-advised? Like why isn't Greg Abbott the right person to carry out this lawsuit?
Well, so actually when this dropped, when people showed me the filing, like my first reaction was just laughing out loud. I mean, it was funny because one, the law, the black letter law says only the attorney general or a sitting district attorney can file it. Two, you can't file it in the Supreme Court. It's got to be filed in district court. Even Attorney General Paxton came in afterwards, like 30 minutes later, and said, "Hey, you don't get to file it, and you filed it in the wrong place." Not only that, so like wrong person.
Dude, like you think he just did that so he could tweet it? Right? Or did he do that to like signal his buddies in the Supreme Court that like we're coming? You know what I'm saying? Like
wrong place. But the filing requires a showing of evidence. Like you can't just say, well, we think he abandoned his post, so well, do whatever. You have to show, well, this happened, this happened, this happened. This is the evidence that shows this. This is evidence that proves this. None of that exists. It's just all like hearsay and innuendo and just nonsense.
Yeah. What about the other two lawsuits that are pending right now? There's also this, well, I don't know that we necessarily need to discuss the civil arrest warrant put forward by the Speaker of the House. I mean, that seems like the most pathetic of all.
Dude, the civil arrest warrant, like, oh, okay. Yeah, thank you. Dude, I love it when they start with these like civil arrest warrants for people who haven't broken any laws. I mean, think about that, guys. It's not illegal to break quorum. No law has been broken, okay? It sucks when you're the party in power and the minority party breaks quorum in that type of protest. Like I said, They did it here all the time in Oregon. It sucks. It's a pain in the ass to deal with, and you have to go to the table with these people at some point, right? Or you can do what we did. So we passed a ballot measure that said you go away for more than 10 days, you can't rerun, and then it sort of keeps it in line. But their overreaction is to like issue these civil arrest warrants. Oh yeah, we're gonna send the Texas Rangers, but like they're issuing arrest warrants for people who have not broken the law. Dude, that's the funniest shit. I think that is the funniest shit. Like when you get to the point where you're so mad and you're so like spun out that you're going to go out and get some civil arrest warrants for people that haven't broken. It just kind of shows you like how much they are flailing, you know, like, oh, how dare you go to Chicago? Oh shit, you are like, we're going to arrest you for visiting another state. This is the party of freedom, people. This is a free speech party, mind you. Okay? You know? Oh shit, dude. Like, you know what I'm saying? They're not playing fair. Oh, so whatever the Dems do, they're just going to cheat. I mean, yeah, but, you know, there's, I mean, fortunately, we do have the law, which it's pretty hard to cheat the law. Like the only way they're going to be able to cheat the law is if the Texas Supreme Court does something like really outrageous, which would then be an indicator of like, okay, now we got to start doing some outrageous shit. You know, I mean, it's like we're playing a game of chicken with fascism is what we are, guys. That it's exactly what we're doing. It is a game of chicken with fascism where you have Trump threatening it, alluding to it. All the right-wing influencers are toying with it because they think it triggers everybody and they're like, it's getting clicks from shit. But they're not like doing the outright, just completely so obviously fascist where there's no turning back. Okay, what's up, Pendulous? They're not doing any like point of no return. You know what I mean? But this, it feels like a point of no return, man. This does. If they change the map in the middle of the fucking the decade exclusively to remove legislators that currently exist doing this without a change in population, then it's like, goddamn, bro. And if the Texas Supreme Court disobeys the law in order to help them do it, like that is fucking crazy. You know what I mean? I mean, that feels like a point of no return, which is like why the Democrats are taking this step, because we're just playing chicken with it. Now, if the Republicans do a point of no return shit, then like Democrats have to, at that point, we have to start responding with point of no return shit. You know, we have to respond in kind. And I hope it doesn't come to that. You know, you say 100% it's going to happen. See, I don't know if it is. Pendulous, let's go. Because I'll say this, okay? I'll say this, that even in Trump's first term, Trump has always been a fucking gas bag. He's always been a like, try to go all in and call your bluff sort of deal. And he's always been all bark and no bite, but he's never actually like point of no return out in the open. You know what I'm saying? He's never point of no return out in the open. And if he actually does that, then we gotta fucking like hit him in the chest. You know what I'm saying? We absolutely. You think we need to keep the high ground? No, you're an idiot. Nah, come on, man. There is no high ground anymore. The high ground doesn't exist anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like if they point of no return, then we absolutely have to beat the fucking shit out of them. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like we have to beat the shit out of them. For sure. Like without a doubt. You know, we do. Yeah, there is no more high ground. It's war at this point. And again, dude, my thing is like, you know, I mean, if these MAGA chuckle fucks want a civil war, let's fucking bring it on. Right? Let's go. Bring it on. I ain't gonna be afraid of a fucking MAGA chuckle fuck civil war, right? I'm not. Because I feel like if there was a civil war, guys, the blue states would have the whole world on our side. You know what I'm saying? We would have the whole world. The only people on the red state side would be Israel, right? That would be it. I feel like the whole world would be on the blue state side. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. Like, who would they have? Dude, they would have Netanyahu. That's it. That's all they'd have, dude. Come on, man.
But look, I would have also said the same thing about John Cornyn's exercise to get the FBI involved, and now we find out from 𝗙cie𝗶𝗆𝗆's FBI that apparently, reportedly, they are willing to assist here, even though there is no jurisdiction for the FBI to be able to go and effectively kidnap these Texas Democrats, who, by the way, are committing no crime.
Yes.
Like when you all broke quorum, that's not a crime. It's a tool by which you can elicit some political ends here, and it's been used for years and years and years, not just in Texas but other states. Republicans used it in Oregon. It was used as early as 1840 by Abraham Lincoln to be able to enact some type of political ends that he wanted to see. And so why would the FBI have a basis here to be able to participate in this whole scheme?
And that's the kicker, is they don't. So,
Yeah,
I mean, number
they
one,
don't.
I mean, Abbott and Paxton and all those guys talk about this like we're breaking the we're deadly criminals, breaking the law.
Dude, Abbott and Paxton are like the two stooges, bro. Dude, we need a third stooge. Who would that be? Would it be Ted Cruz? Right? Or John Cornyn? We need a third stooge, dude.
Such thing. The ability to break quorum is in the Constitution. It's in the laws of the state of Texas. Not only that, breaking quorum has been recognized by the Texas Supreme Court as a valid political tool for the minority party. Basically saying that when things get so bad and the majority is so does not listen to you, does not even give you the time of day, does not offer you anything, and is doing something so horrible, you have no other choice but to put an end to it. You use a quorum break.
Yeah.
And most importantly, and you know, most recently, Ken Paxton wrote an opinion saying that quorum break is a valid tool for legislative process. For him to come out and say,
dude, that's crazy. You hear that? That Ken Paxton has said that the quorum break is a legislative tool, and now he's fucking crying about it? I mean, dude, it's so funny, bro. Dude, yeah, I'm starting to think that maybe fucking Cornyn is the third stooge and Ted Cruz is like Shemp. Dude, right? I think, or maybe vice versa. I can't tell which of those, right? But I'm thinking Ted Cruz might be Shemp, dude. I think there's a strong possibility that Ted Cruz is Shemp. Oh shit, let's get a photo here. Let's photo op real quick. All right, because, dude, we got, where's the Three Stooges and Shemp? Right? Dude, Shemp was the replacement stooge, right? Wasn't he? Dude, I gotta I'm behind, dude, on my fucking Three Stooges lore. All right, hold on here. Because you got Larry, Curly, and Moe, right? Moe, Larry, and Curly, and then you had Shemp. Right? So it was... Where was the arrival of Shemp? Hold on. When did Shemp make his way into it? Dude, now we're on a fucking, we're on a right? Because the Three Stooges was always Larry, Moe, and Curly. Okay? You got Larry, Moe, and Curly. So how does Shemp fit into the Three Stooges, dude? Where did Shemp come from? Dude, we're gonna ask the AI. I'm having a good day. Oh, is that what it is? Curly had a stroke and then Shemp came in? So it says fucking Shemp was an original member. Oh, okay. Got it. So Shemp was an original. Oh, I didn't know that, dude. So Shemp was an original, and then he left. And then Curly took Shemp's place. And then Curly had a stroke, and then Shemp came back and replaced him when he left. Dude, all right. So Shemp was the original. So yeah, then I think Ted Cruz is definitely Shemp, dude. Dude, oh, what a tangent, bro. I had no idea. I mean, dude, he's got Shemp written all over him, doesn't he? Doesn't he just have Shemp written all over him? Look at him. Look at him, dude. Ted Cruz. Shemp Cruz. Dude, there he is, dude. That. Dude, Shemp Cruz, bro. I can see the fucking. I can see the resemblance, dude. Dude. Tell me he's not Shemp, bro. Dude, I can see it, bro. You feeling a little bad for Shemp here? I mean, yeah, we all are, dude. Oh shit, dude. He's got Shemp written all over him. Oh. Dude, what a fucking smarmy motherfucker, bro. Do they get any smarmier than Ted Cruz? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, tell me Ted Cruz doesn't have, you know, like internet browser history vibes, bro. It just, he does, dude. All right, that was a lovely fucking detour.
Oh, these are criminals, and they're doing all these bad things against the law. Like, did you not read your own opinion?
Yeah, someone should introduce Ken Paxton to Ken Paxton. That might be helpful. So in terms of the prospect of the FBI making good on its promises, how are you all reacting to this? Is it that you know, you kind of expect FBI agents, very much in the vein of what ICE is doing right now, to just pop out a van somewhere and throw a bag over your heads and stick you into a van?
No, that certainly is a concern. But look, we talked about this before we left. We talked about this endlessly. We ran into our lawyers, we ran into more lawyers, and we ran into more lawyers.
Yeah.
And every conclusion was exactly the same. And it's this: if they follow the law, if Paxton, Abbott, Cornyn, whoever the hell else, if they follow the law, there's nothing they can do outside of the state of Texas.
Nothing.
Right? If they follow the law. If Trump follows the law, if Patel follows the law, the DOJ follows the law, there's absolutely nothing they can do. There's no intervention that is allowed by the law.
And again, though, this is the thing that why I likened it to the chicken guys. Because the thing about this is Trump can threaten to be a dictator. Okay, he can threaten, he can cajole, he can threaten lawsuits, he can do all this. He's got legal standing with ICE to harass the Hispanic people. He has legal standing with that. Okay, and so he can get away with that. But as far as the FBI showing up and breaking the law to commandeer these guys and like getting in a shootout or something with their private security or with the local law enforcement, if like the Democrats are essentially saying, okay, we're not allowing you guys to go rogue and be full dictators. We're not allowing you to fully cross those lines. And if if they were to, like, out in the open, the fucking federal law enforcement have a shootout with local Chicago police and kill the police to commandeer these representatives, like, that would be I just don't think that would work out well, right? I don't think, like, the shit that Nayib Bukele did down in fucking El Salvador, Trump can't do that shit here, guys. And if he did, he would get his ass fucking beat. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's just it. Like, I think us calling their bluff in this way of, like, saying, you know what? Sure, you can go full rogue dictator, but you're going to have to do something outrageous like Bukele or like North Korea style. You're going to have to do it out in the open so the whole world can see. And then I just think that would end badly for Trump, because I don't think anyone in the world would be on Trump's side if there was a fucking, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? I just don't think the world would be on MAGA's side. I don't think they have a lot of allies at this point. I think Trump has pretty much guaranteed that the whole world, you know, and I mean, the biggest parts of the economy are not in red states, man. You know, so this, you know, this is why I don't get too fucking worked up about it. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't get too, you know.
That they can do if they follow the law.
That is doing a lot of heavy lifting
so
here.
That's a big if. So, I mean, like, look, historically, Abbott, Paxton, and Trump are well known for ignoring the law, breaking the law, or just turning the law into a pretzel, right? And
they are.
That's why it's so important that you're here. It's so important that other people, other Americans are here watching this, because the more that people watch, the more that people are standing up and pointing at them saying, we see what you're doing. Like, the harder it is for them to do illegal bullcrap.
Absolutely.
Right? The harder it is.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree that, like, the shining a light on them is a good strategy.
Shenanigans in the darkness. If people are watching, there's a light on it, they'll have to justify what they're doing. They'll have to answer for it. Which is like, you know, again, like how they're able to round up people without warrants, without badges, officers wearing masks, because they don't have a way to check them, right? There's no way for those people to check it. And here we have a way to check this, and it is the American people. I mean, all of this, all the filings, all the warrants, all the stuff. I mean, like, it's just, it would be comical if it wasn't so distressing to the people around us. But Ken Paxton filed a motion in Illinois court, demanding that they enforce Texas law in Illinois.
Dude, what an idiot, bro. Ken Paxton filed a motion in Illinois court demanding that Illinois enforce Texas law, bro. Dude. Shit, boss.
Yeah.
And how we're gonna stop it, dude? We have to win the House, man. That is the way you stop it. If the Democrats take control of the House in 2026, all of this ends. All of this ends. Okay? All of it does. You know what I'm saying? That's all we need to do is we need to like a general strike. See, a general strike though hurts all of us too. Okay, like that is a last resort type thing. You know what I'm saying? But if we win the House, you know what I mean? If we win the House, right? If we win the House, all this goes away. You know what I mean? If they don't rig elections, yeah, but you're like doomsday. You're like wanting to go to the last step first, dude. Stop doing that. That's not going to benefit us. Okay? You don't save the last step. You don't do your last step first, boss. That's not good rebellion. Okay? Like that's how you fucking get your ass handed to you, bro. You got to do this. You know what I'm saying? You don't break out the fucking the things that break all the windows at the beginning. You know, right now we just win the House. I don't think they can rig an election. I don't think an election is riggable, guys. You know, I know they said it was in 2020, but dude, that's nonsensical.
Every lawyer that we talked to, their immediate reaction was just gut-busting laughter.
Yeah.
This is like, again, this is first-year law school kind of questions.
Yeah.
You know, like, I don't know if you guys are on Reddit, but like on Reddit and R Law, I mean, this is nonstop on R Law. Everyone's just mocking them, laughing at them, like any attorney.
Yeah, I don't really do the doomsday shit. I mean, I'm not an effective warrior. If you want to doomsday stuff, that's fine. I don't fight well when I doomsday it. But you know, obviously we're not gonna let Texas change their map in the middle of the decade. We're not gonna do that. And if somehow they end up being able to do that, then we're going to do the same shit in all of our states. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? But a general strike is not going to do anything right now. I don't know what that would do. Like, what do you think a general strike's going to do? Do you think that's going to have Texas stop gerrymandering the maps? Yeah, I don't really see the point of it right now, other than weakening all of us. You know what is your general strike about? They haven't rigged an election. They haven't like gerrymandered the map yet. So you're general striking just to general strike, right? You know, like, you know what I mean? Dude, if we win the House, this ends. But that really, guys, we do have to start thinking about this, right? We do have to start thinking about, like, we got to win the House. It's a very important thing. You know what I mean? But hey, man, Matt, if you think a general strike is the answer, organize it, bro. Get out there and make it happen, dude, and show us, right? You know what I mean? Like, I just don't know what you're after, Matt. Like, you know, I look at your messages and I don't think you're after change. I think you're just trying to provoke a reaction because you're really upset and you feel powerless. And so you want to fucking create some fucking chaos and wreckage to alleviate your feelings of powerlessness. And I think that's a bad idea. I think you should find a better way to get powerful instead of just bitching for the next year. You yourself need to get proactive and get powerful in affecting some change, boss. Like either running for office or starting some type of content creation or getting involved locally, like doing something where you don't need to create wreckage. Because believe me, I'm all for like executing rebellion. I just am for executing it in a way that's fucking beneficial. You know what I mean? But we have a lot of people that feel powerless and feel like Trump has way more power than he actually does. And so, you know what I mean? It's like, you know, the buying the election is a very present danger. I mean, we have to worry about that too, guys. Like, what are we going to do in 2026? Because, you know, Elon's going to try to buy it again, but he couldn't buy Wisconsin. But I think it's really important that we have to figure out our own, all of us personally, gotta know, like, we gotta get in touch with our own personal power. You know what I'm saying? Because we got a couple more years of this, guys. You know what I'm saying? We do. We got a long fight ahead of us. You know, but right now the fight is 2026. And I mean, my only worry, guys, is the fact that we know everyone's mad at Democrats and everyone's crying about establishment. You have people like Cenk Uygur who are going to sit there and shred the Democratic establishment right up through 2026. My thing is can we stay together and win legislatively with all of these negative influences that are trying to fracture the Democratic Party? Because everyone's trying to fracture the Democratic Party right now, and the right-wingers are sort of like, yeah, let's do that. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? it's like that's really hard. Like they're actively encouraging us to not stick together. But my thing is I think this. I think we need to stay tethered to the current Democratic Party that we have, and we have to vote our asses off. Okay, I want Mamdani winning in New York. Okay, I want fucking the Dems taking back the House. And if we put all in to take the House back, and they like pull some bullshit where we uncover some fucking rigging or you know what I'm saying? Like if they pull some outrageous shit, I mean, obviously they're trying to gerrymander the Texas map. So we know that they don't think they have the House. We know they think they're losing the House, which is why they're doing this Texas shit, right? I mean, if they had this shit rigged, they wouldn't be worried about gerrymandering the House map. But they want to gerrymander the House map because they know what's coming, bro. They know what is coming. It's like real obvious. Wisconsin was the first sign. That dude that like, I mean, really, you know, if Kamala Harris had been a white man that wasn't Joe Biden, there wouldn't be a fucking Donald Trump right now. Okay? Like, let's be honest. It was a fucking black woman with 107 days that had very little chance of like, you know, counteracting years of Republican damage, and Joe Biden shouldn't have been in that race. But if there had been a white man, not Joe Biden, if Joe Biden had not run and we had a fucking real primary and there had been somebody else winning the primary, Trump would have never won, man. This is like racism and misogyny 101. He barely eked it out. He was a terrible candidate. Everything that could have went wrong for the Dems. You know, like, we don't need to panic, okay? Like, yeah, we fucked up, okay? Joe Biden fucked up and we're in a shit, but we just need to get together and dude, Kamala almost won, man, right? Kamala almost won, dude. She should have won if America wasn't such a degenerate fucking racist ass misogynist fucking loser of a country, bro. Goddamn, we're losers. You know what I mean? I know Elon fucking went out in like major, but you know what I'm saying? So like, I don't know, dude. I don't want to get doomsday here. You know what I mean? And you're right. The media, I think, you know, I think maybe, you know what it is though? Maybe that maybe in some way we just knew that Trump was never going away anyway. So we're just biting the bullet and fucking just getting him out of our system, right? We gotta just get him out of their system, dude. Dude, oh shit, you know, but you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Dude, he lied his ass off. Of course he did. But yeah, I don't think it's over, but I will say this, like whether you love the Democratic Party or you hate the Democratic Party, we do need to support the Democratic Party in 2026, and we need to win the fucking House. And I don't care. I mean, yeah, am I mad that 𝗙cije𝗶𝗆𝗆 is being a clown about Zohran Mamdani? Yeah, I am. But I don't care. I'm not going to fucking allow the Republicans to keep the House in 2026, which means like when we get back to that election cycle, yes, I'm going to donate. Yes, I'm going to fucking be a cheerleader for everybody in the party. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to do it. And I will willfully do that. I don't love a lot of the party, you know what I'm saying? But I'm not going to let them fucking take the country, you know? You know what I'm saying? But you know, they're right in Cenk and Anna. Yeah, fuck Cenk and Anna. You know what I mean? And yeah, I don't like the state of the party right now. I don't. But I also think that everybody not liking the party is going to be good for the party long term. You know, it's why I'm thinking about throwing my hat in the ring. You know what I'm saying? I am. I'm thinking about throwing my hat in the ring in 2028. I was thinking about moving to Wisconsin, but I don't really want to go to a red state. But I will tell you guys, there is a part of me that is thinking about running against Ron Wyden for that Senate seat here in Oregon. If he runs again, right? Because he's going to be in his 80s. And I don't hate Ron Wyden, but I think running against, a fresh face, running against, Ron Wyden might be the thing to do in 2028, like to carry the torch for him. Because he's going to be like in his late 80s, dude, or like 83 or some shit. We don't need another guy dying in office. And I mean, I get it. He's done good work, but we'll see. We'll see. I might throw my fucking hat in the ring, Vote for Tommy. Let's go, man. Dude, they would dig up a lot of dirt, guys. You know what I'm saying? If I were to run, Kamala Harris is just not good at politics. I mean, it's hard to run a presidential campaign. I think, here's what I think about Kamala Harris is I think that her prosecutorial background and her background as an attorney general made her great for the Senate. Okay. But she was great in the debate, and she was really good when she was being attacked by a reporter and shit. However, there is a certain conversational aspect of running for president. There is a certain being able to go out and just sort of talk to the rubes in a diner kind of thing that she was not good at, okay? And that doesn't mean she was not good at, she was never good at that. You know what I'm saying? She was never really good at that. I think prosecuting attorneys don't really have that. It's not a skill that they have, which is why, prosecuting attorneys are not really like the type of people that run for president, And Joe wasn't either, but we were desperate. We were in the middle of a pandemic and everyone was dying. So with Joe, and Joe was a white man, right? White men get away with a lot. I think as a black woman, unfortunately, in this racist American country, a black woman would have to, goddamn, dude, she'd have to be like the speaker and the dancer and the rizzer and the prosecutor and the debate winner, right? Like she would have been goddamn perfect in every variety. And even then, a lot of Midwestern white people would have been like, man, there's something about her. I don't know what it is, right? Trump can't say a full sentence. Yeah, but he's a racist white man. And you don't have to be able to say a full sentence in the Republican Party if you're a racist white man. Racist white men can be completely unqualified and still win the presidency. You know what I'm saying? I mean, dude, I'll be honest. I was real worried about a white woman being able to win the fucking independent voters in middle America, You know what I'm saying? I was worried about that, guys. From the very beginning. I love Kamala Harris. I think she would have been a great president. She would have certainly been the most left-wing president we would have ever had. But I mean, that fucking, it was just always gonna be a tough sell. You know what I'm saying? I mean, guys, I don't think you understand. And I know Obama, but like, I don't think you understand the hornet's nest of racism that got kicked up like after Obama was in office. You know what I'm saying? Like I honestly am unsure as to whether a black person could win in America for, president, any black person for the next 20 years or something. Like the hornet's nest in Obama's second term, dude, was like I've never seen the Republican Party galvanize behind racism like they did in Obama's second term. They swore they were going to get him out. And when he won in 2012, like the racism in America after he won in 2012 was like, wow, dude, it's like worse than the 70s, bro. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? It's like crazy. Like is crazy shit. Like we have some work. We have some work ahead of us. I don't know, dude. We're going to have to heal from Trumpism, bro. It's like, you remember, did you guys see 8 Mile? You guys see 8 Mile? You remember when Cheddar Bob like shot himself, right? That's literally what America is right now. America is like Cheddar Bob with a fucking bullet hole in his fucking pants. Dude, we're like pretty fucking ridiculous right now. You know, just like, oh, fuck, the whole world's looking at America like, oh, shit, dude, how the fuck did they fucking do that to themselves? You know? Because, I mean, we're kind of lovable. A lot of the world loves a lot of America. And they're like, how did America go and do that? Right? We went from Barack Obama to Donald Trump. Everyone's like, God damn, bro. What are you doing, America? Like, we love you, America, but what are you doing? Like, really? You're threatening to take over Greenland and make Canada a state? Like, really? Like, what are we doing, bro? You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck, dude. This is embarrassing, dude. Donald Trump. You know what I mean? Dude, you know? And I mean, yeah. And we learned after the first time. Like, bro, come on, man. Everybody remembers how bad he was. Everybody remembers how terrible he was at COVID. Everybody saw how he didn't accomplish anything. And you still did it. J6, Jeffrey Epstein, fucking, you know, paying off the porn star, lying, and write 30,000 lies. And we still did this. Like, bro, come on. We're better than this, dude. We are, right? Dude, what are we doing, man? Like, oh, shit. You know, dude, come on. You know, I mean, this is why my Charlie Kirk video is doing so well today. Right? Dude, we are Cheddar Bob, dude. The video's doing banging, though, guys. Look at this. You see that? Dude, both videos today were 1 of 10s, boss. Look at that shit, dude. Both videos today were 1 of 10s. I love me a 1 of 10, boss. Let's go. Always been a lot of dislike against America. I mean, there's always been a lot of dislike against America, but I think like America, a lot of America has been lovable too, right? Because there's a lot of good Americans, you know. There are a lot of good Americans that go to Europe and speak the language and don't fucking pull rank and be dicks. We have a lot of good people here in America. We also have a lot of entitled, racist, lazy, ignorant motherfuckers too that think they should get some superiority badge because they stick a Bible up their ass and they fucking, you know, live on a farm somewhere. You know what I mean? But you know what I'm saying? Dude, our Bob is Cheddar, country is Cheddar Bob with shitty gun laws. All right, I'm gonna go get a snack. I'm gonna go get some candy. We're gonna go into the end of this shit. Dude, I stand behind the Cheddar Bob reference, bro. I do. Dude, was the music playing the whole time? No. Was there music the whole time or no? I hope not. Oh, that's gonna be super distracting if there was. Candy break? Oh, there. Somebody said no. Somebody said yeah. No, there was. It just kicked on. Okay. Oh, it was lightly in. Dude, was it lightly in? I think I forgot to turn the music off, dude. Oh shit, that's gonna fuck up my videos. That's all right. All right, I guess we're gonna just have music in the background. Oh shit, dude. Whoops. All right. I fucked up. I thought I had it off, but I think I may have had it on that whole time. But we'll find out. Yeah, well, there is a way that it was way quiet, but let me go grab some candy. I'll be right back. All right. Dude, we dance party. We need 4 more in 2 minutes. Oh shit, boss. 4 more in 2 minutes for a dance party. We'll try another one.
Same old ways in a different place, but something's changing. I wanted answers and direction. What I got was second guessing, hesitation, no sensation, just more questions. Nothing to blame for being stuck inside this frame of mind. If I can find my way, who I am, what I want, where I'm going, where I was, it's not up to you. I wish there was something you could do, but you're not me, so you can be my answers, because you're all I've got. And you're all I want. Some days it just feels like this will never be enough. Most days it just feels like I've struggled to catch up. But I won't mind the day I find what a peace of mind you are. 'Cause life is a wonderful mess. You're all I've got. You're all I want. You're all I've got. You're all
There's no way, dude. You guys actually did that? Oh shit, bro. There's no fucking way, dude. Oh, we dance. Let's go. No way. A minute 53. We needed 4. We got Blaz. We got Long Ears. We got Social Butterfly, and Long Ears came in with the fucking another one. Let's go. All right. We're gonna dance, bro. I'm gonna have a little candy, and then we're gonna fucking rock out. Let's go. Dude, good song. Good song. Dude, I'm eating Butterfingers and Baby Ruths. I like that you appreciate most of my takes. Yeah, I think it's hard with politics because you're not going to love everybody's takes, right? Right? There's no way you never love all of their takes, right? At least I don't. There's nobody who I love all their takes. I don't think it's possible in the Democratic Party. I mean, I don't know. I agree with most of them. Yeah, Baby Ruth and Butterfingers. I think Baby Ruth. So we buy these bags of small candies. Like every time I go to the grocery store, I buy like 3 bags of small candies. So the ones that we get are, there's one that's Baby Ruth, Butterfingers, Nestle Crunch, and $100,000 bars that are now called 100 grand. Although Jenny, the minute I buy those, she goes in there and takes all the 100 grands out and hides them. So that's one bag. The other bag is Snickers, regular Snickers, peanut butter Snickers, and almond Snickers. And then the other bag is the ones that have Crackles, Mr. Goodbar, Hershey's chocolate, and dark chocolate. And so those are the 3 bags of candy that I buy, like 3 bags or 4 bags of those varieties, like every 2 weeks, right? Dude, we eat some candy in this house. You know what I mean? Dude, yeah, Jenny, she takes the 100 grands out. Although she left one. I found one the other day, dude. She left one behind. She didn't get one. I felt pretty vindicated. Am I diabetic? No. No, I'm not diabetic. Like, diabetes doesn't really run in the family. And my favorites, though, sometimes I'll buy a bag sometimes I'll buy a bag or a box of 𝗙𝗏𝗽𝗀𝗧𝗏. But we eat a little sugar. Dude, I love candy bars. I do. When you cut back on drinking, you love candy? Nice. Yeah. Well, I've been sober 18 years. So my vices are a little bit of candy and a little bit of candy and a little bit of caffeine. You like Jolly Ranchers? All right. Yeah, no, I like candy bars. I like 𝗙𝗏𝗽𝗀𝗧𝗏. Those are my favorites. Eat pounds? No, I don't eat pounds. I eat probably 4 or 5 of these little miniature candy bars every single day. Right? That's what I eat. Probably it's probably averages out to 4 or 5 of these little guys every day. Which, I mean, fuck, bro. I have no problem with that. Right? I mean, I eat healthy. I eat a lot of salmon and white fish, like grilled fish in an air fryer and fresh vegetables. And I eat very healthy, but do you like the 100 grams? Yeah, they used to be called $100,000 bars when I was a kid. I always liked them. How much soda do I consume per day? I don't drink any soda, really. I mean, lately I've been drinking like a can of Mountain Dew because we did buy some sodas because Bryce's girlfriend moved in with us while they're like getting ready to move to New York. But normally I don't we got soda because she moved in and they're leaving and it was on sale. So we bought some like Mountain Dew and shit. But normally I don't drink any soda. Zero soda. I drink coffee in the morning, and then I have a Rockstar at night when I stream. One Rockstar. And so that's what I drink, coffee and one Rockstar and some water. But I normally don't drink any soda, right? I think soda is pretty, as an older person, like soda, if you drink a lot of soda, you're gonna pack on the pounds, I think. As an older person, I don't think it's good for older people, right? Right? Only soda now is ginger ale. Nice. Yeah, I don't really drink. I used to when I was younger. I drank a lot of soda. I mean, I've done a lot of shit. I did a lot of cocaine too. I was like, whatevs. I had a lot of habits. You know, my thing is though, is I just went to the doctor and I'm fit as fucking shit, bro. Like my stress test. I have one more like CT of my like heart and my chest veins, one more CT scan of my chest to do. But I already did, had ultrasounds of like my belly and did all my blood work and shit. And I'm like, fucking, huh? No, Gen X, they were called $100,000 bar, right? 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 You're saying that's just what I called them? No, they were called 100 grand even when it was $100,000 bar. See, I remember though I think I remember seeing commercials. Hold on. Let me see here. Let me look. So even when it said 100,000 on it, it was still 100 grand. Because I always called them $100,000 bars, but I may have been using fucking license here. Hold on here.
any attorney worth their salt.
Hold on. Let me look it up here. I'm going to look it up on YouTube. Because I think, you ready? Hold on. We're going to go here. I think in 1979, dude, I think they were actually, let's find out.
You're out!
I told you.
And lots of little crunches.
With a taste so chocolatey. Nestle's $100,000 bar.
I remember the song, man. Yeah.
Mixed together with a fun crunch of crispy rice and a delicious chocolatey taste too.
This is your caramel bar. Nestle's $100,000 bar.
Yeah, but so this commercial though, Gen X, was 1979, right? And so I was 10 years old. Yeah, no, I was born in 69, baby. Dude, what a great song though. $100,000 bar, right? The song is so catchy. All right, I thought I was maybe crazy though, dude. I really did. Hold on, we're gonna watch it again. Dude, I think it's funny that you mentioned Mellow Yellow because it sounds like Mellow Yellow, doesn't it? It's got that same vibe.
You're out! Cornell, $100,000 bar. Chewy Cornell.
And lots of little crunches.
With a taste so chocolatey.
Dude, was that Dana Plato? I think that was Dana Plato from fucking
Mixed together
Different
with a fun
Strokes,
crunch
dude.
of crispy rice and a delicious chocolatey taste too.
This is your caramel bar. Nestle's $100,000 bar.
Yeah, I think that's Dana Plato from Different Strokes. Let's go. Thank you. You're great, Gen X. Dude, I don't win very often, but I think that was her, right? And it was, yes. Oh my God, dude. So what's crazy about that is that was before Different Strokes. Okay? So did she do that before Different Strokes? Yeah. Dude, I had a big crush on her, man. Different Strokes was 78. Oh, shit. So she did that. I wonder if that's how she got the Different Strokes audition. She had a big national commercial in 77, and it ran for a while. Was she a Nepo baby? Dude, she kind of went crazy. Dude, she did. She kind of went crazy. I think she became like super religious, like living in a bunker and shit. Didn't she get drug addicted? But yeah, no, I had a big crush on her when I was 10, bro. Right? She died in 99 in Oklahoma. Dude, I had a huge, huge crush on her. But then she sort of like, she had drug and alcohol problems. Right? She overdosed on diazepam when she was 14. She moved in with her boyfriend, a rock guitarist that like Lenny Lambert that like nobody's ever heard of. Jesus. Right? They got married. She signed over power of attorney to an accountant who stole all her money. Right? He stole $11 million. She lost custody of her son. Right? Dude, then she kind of like went itinerant. She moved to Vegas, struggled with poverty and unemployment. She was a cashier at a dry cleaning store. Right? And then, oh yeah, dude, she robbed the video store, bro. I forgot about that. Yes, Miss Ruthless, you're right. We're getting to that right here. Dude, what a great little tangent this is. But she robbed the video store. I had completely forgotten about that. Where was it? In 1991, she entered a Las Vegas video store with a pellet gun, and she left it. The clerk called 911 and said, I just got robbed by Kimberly from Different Strokes. They did what we did. They're just like, wait, wasn't that Dana Plato? I think that was the girl from fucking from Different Strokes. 15 minutes after the robbery, she returned to the scene and was arrested. She had stolen $164. Okay. She was arrested for forging a prescription for diazepam. See, that's crazy, guys, that she OD'd on diazepam when she was 14 in 1978. Okay, she was born in 64. In 1978, she OD'd on diazepam at 14. And in 1992, man, right, 14 years later, she was still arrested for forging a prescription to the same drug. Dude, that's heartbreaking, bro. Like, to think about how she made it and got famous, and then the drugs, like, hooked her and fucking, you know what I'm saying? It's those prescription pills, dude. That shit will fucking get you. And you know what's crazy about this, guys? And we don't talk about this a lot, but I've known over the course of my life a lot of fucking older people that were hooked on the Scrippies, right? There's a lot of old people, like, you know, CEOs and businessmen and shit, that, yeah, they are like legal drug addicts because the doctors like hook them up, dude. It's really crazy shit. It is Valley of the Dolls type stuff, right? That shit is gnarly, bro. Fucking Valiums, dude, that's crazy, dude. And on May 7th of 99, she went on the Howard Stern show. She admitted to being a recovering addict. She said she had been sober for more than 10 years, except for prescription painkillers, which, you know, she was fucking, right? No, she was still struggling. All right. And then she took hydrocodone. Oh, with fucking muscle relaxers. And then she fucking died in a fucking Winnebago. Brutal, man. 34 years old, bro. Jesus. Brutal. Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy. Sucks, man. You know? Dude, it is really sad, dude. But she did win me $5 though from Gen X. Let's go. There it is. Thank you, Gen X. That one's for Dana Plato. All right. We love you, Dana. Dude, yeah, no, I had a massive crush on her when I was 10 years old. Dude, Different Strokes was my jam, dude. Dude, I liked all of the like sort of shows with, you know, I don't know. I grew up, the first show I watched with my mom was All in the Family. And Archie Bunker, the character in that show, was like terribly racist and terribly misogynist. And he was a lot like my dad, and except my dad was like super misogynist, but not racist. My dad wasn't racist, but he was like controlling like Archie Bunker. And so that show was really good, but it was also like really hard because it was so true to life, to the way everybody was, right? But so as a young kid, I loved the shows that had mixed races, right? I watched, you know, Good Times and Welcome Back, Kotter and the Jeffersons and Different Strokes. Like for me, I was all about the shows that had mixed race casts. I really always felt a deep sense of attraction to those shows as a young person. And I mean, we moved from a small town of all white people to Los Angeles. And so I was thrust into a world that was very like mixed culturally. So I really liked that as well. But I was a big fan. I did not like the shows that were like all white people. Oh my God, What's Happening was so good, right? And I mean, you know, but dude, I was a big TV kid. I watched TV, and there were sort of special rules, like we could stay up late if I watched TV with my parents, I could stay up all the way through the late night news. So I didn't like going to bed. So I would stay up and I would watch, you know, the comedies early. And then I would watch the cop shows with my dad. He would always watch like Cagney and Lacey and Starsky and Hutch and fucking, you know, Simon and Simon and all that, you know, Magnum PI. Those were on at like 10 p.m. And so I would watch the cop shows with my dad, and then I would watch the news. And then occasionally, if I was really like, you know, charming, I'd be able to watch a little bit of Johnny Carson after the news. So I like, oh, A-Team, yeah. So I that was like becoming a TV junkie with my dad was how I was able to fucking maintain, you know, not having to go to bed early, right? And then, yeah, we watched Rockford Files. And then, though, we got cable because my dad was TV guy. He was an early adopter of cable. And so when I had cable, I started like never going to bed pretty much because then it was like, oh my God, dude, we had movie channels. I'd be watching Cinemax movies. I'd be watching Porky's at like 3 a.m. with the volume real quiet. Dude, oh shit, I was a cable kid, bro. 100 channels and fucking out of like round the clock, dude. I watched a lot of TV as a kid, dude, a lot. I did, like, I was raised by the television set. But you know, I don't know, man. I feel like it was actually really good for me, dude. You know, there was a lot of really good storytelling in the 70s and 80s. You know, there was. And once you got cable, like seeing all the different movies and like foreign films with subtitles, and, you know, you had TNT that played all the old movies, and you know, there were a lot less commercials in the beginning of it. And so I used to, like, I immersed myself in like every type of media, you know, and you know what I mean? And like I don't know. I mean, now I feel like all that stuff helps me as a content creator, you know, that I was schooled in the foundations of media. I mean, I think there's something to be said. I think it depends, right? Because it depends to me on if you're immersing yourself in media to expand your horizons or if you're immersing yourself in media to like shut off your life. I think there's a difference, okay? I really do. Because I immersed myself in media, but it didn't replace my creative projects. It informed them, okay? I was always creating art, making music, making art, making some type of creative output, and the media I consumed was informing the media I was generating. I wasn't just coming home from work and like trying to forget about my day. You know what I mean? And you know, and so because I did know, I don't know, I know some people that got into a rut of where they worked a 9 to 5 and then they didn't really, all they really did was shut off with like media. And I don't know, that seems like that could be kind of unhealthy, you know what I mean? I think there's a way to absorb it and not just consume it, but I don't know, maybe I'm trying to delineate something to defend my artistry or whatever. But I think having an art made it so like the media was always felt like it was inspiration and it wasn't like getting me through the day. You know what I mean? Like I wasn't relying on the media to like heal me, you know? Because I mean, there's a resentment that I sort of saw where I think I saw it in my dad, where my dad didn't really have anything but his job and but his like commitments. And so he watched a lot of media too, but he did it to escape. And it never got rid of the resentment for him. You know what I mean? Like, and you know, and then if like the media let him down, he was really in a pickle, you know? And you know, then he like, his moods were like really unpredictable. Whereas like my mood never got attached to the consumption of media. You know, it was, for me, it was always like seeking inspiration or seeking viewpoints or seeking like a worldview different from my own, something that I could challenge my worldview with. I mean, I like to challenge my worldview. I don't know if you guys do that, but I am like twofold. Like on the one hand, I very much question authority always. But another thing that I do is I like to challenge my worldview a lot. I like to challenge it, you know? You know what I'm saying? I like to challenge my fucking worldview. The media let him down. Yeah, no, my dad had that relationship with him where like when the things that numbed him no longer worked, like there was like a heartbreak, you know, because he was just trying to escape, you know, and it's hard, you know. Now it's like so hard. Oh, I definitely watched WKRP in Cincinnati. That was a great show. But now I think it's hard because it's now there's almost too many choices. Like, I don't know if you guys have this, but sometimes I sit down to watch something. I get on Netflix and then I peruse HBO Max and then I peruse Amazon Prime and then I peruse, you know, fucking Hulu. And by the time I've like looked on 4 different streaming sessions, I've just spent my entire time looking for content, right? I didn't even watch anything. I just spent 30 minutes looking for a piece of content to watch. I'm like, oh, all right. I guess that was my TV show, was the hunt for something decent to watch. Or you default to something you've watched 100 times. I mean, it was so much easier in the day when you could just turn on the TV and there was something playing and you didn't have control over it. Like there was a discovery, right? That's kind of like, I think one of the things that was neat about cable is I would get on and I would turn on fucking TNT or TBS and there was just something on. And you would just be like, oh, what is this? I'm going to go check this out. And you would just experience it. But you weren't deciding to pick it. You didn't have to make the decision. There was a sense of like discovery, right? And like now I feel like we have so much control that some of that discovery feels like it's gone a little bit. I suppose you could just randomly, like I watch a lot of random shit. Like shit that I've never heard of. I'll see a name and I'll see pictures. And like we watched this show the other day. Like Jenny doesn't like it because Jenny likes to go to, you know, she likes to go to fucking, you know, Rotten Tomatoes and make sure the show is good. And I'll watch anything. It could be a terrible show and I'll still watch it, or a terrible movie. I'll just experience their art and see what I take or learn from it, right? But Jenny's much more like, it's got to be good, right? Sometimes I force her to watch these crazy, terrible TV shows, dude. Because I don't know, there's something about watching a really bad TV show. You want to know the best TV show? I'll tell you right now. It was only on for a little bit, but we're not really, I guess we're not doing much politics tonight. But the best fucking TV show ever was Jason Bateman, okay? It was called It's Your Move, right? Right here, okay? It was Jason Bateman, right? And Karen Kay and fucking David Garrison, right? Do you guys know It's Your Move? Did you ever see this show? It was a single mom and she had 2 kids. And one of the kids, Jason Bateman, was kind of a scammer, okay? And the guy who lived across the street was a writer and he was like always trying to outwit the scammer kid. So this writer guy is trying to get in good with the kid's mom, and the kid is like pulling scams. Oh, let me see if I can find... I don't know if we could fucking watch it, if it would get demonetized, but I'll put a link to it in here because I think we'd probably get what do you call it? I bet we would get copy struck if I put it, but it's a great show. Okay. All right, I'm going to put the pilot episode of it in. Okay. Dude, it was a great show, dude. There you go. More Mandela effect. What's the Mandela effect again? Dude, it's a really good show. You like Jason Bateman? I love Jason Bateman. Taxi was great. I watched the shit out of Taxi. But yeah, there's a show, It's Your Move. It wasn't on very. False memory of events or shows. Oh, why? Are you having a false memory of something? Because It's Your Move was definitely a show. It was only on for like 2 seasons. Okay? It was, right? It was Karen K was the mom, and Jason Bateman was the kid, and he was trying to date the mom, and he lived across the hall, and the kid was always trying to fuck him up. Dude, he was so good. But it was not on very long. Oh yeah, here we go. And then he had his friend, right? So it's a comedy, yeah. So it was Karen K was the mom, Jason Bateman, then his sister, and then he had his buddy who was like a trope in the 80s. The buddy would be like a really funny, kind of overweight kid, was kind of the buddy. And then this guy was a writer who lived across the hall who was trying to date his mom. And I think eventually he started dating her. But, and so he was kind of like a father figure, but the kid was like, oh, you're not my father. But it was really, what was great about it was the kid, Jason Bateman, was this very like adult scheming kid. Dude, Family Ties was amazing. But the kid, I liked the kid because he was just super scheming. And I had a crush on the mom character too, Karen K. I think everybody did in the 80s. Dude, she had the crazy 80s mullet, right? Yeah, let's go. All right. So, dude, we didn't really do a lot of politics tonight, but that's okay. I'm going to see the Mariners tomorrow. I will make a video out of this. I have some videos. I suppose what we could do is we could look at one thing quick. Dude, Jason Bateman's amazing. We could look at I've been wanting to look at from Midas Touch, right? That video about remember the video that they had that was about Michael Wolff, right? Where he was talking about about Jeffrey Epstein being afraid for his life. Dude, Ozark was great. Does Jason Bateman have a podcast? No way, dude, does he? Dude, Justine is like crazy. Justine from fucking Family Ties. Are they related? Dude, she is crazy. Like, she is a serious red pillar. Yeah. So this one right here, I think I want to watch. Dude, did you guys see this video? His sister. Yeah. Dude, she's crazy. She is like so red pill. And dude, Ozark, great show. But yeah, let's watch this video, guys. Because I think this is really, oh shit, I'm going to have to check that out. I think this is really important, okay? Because remember what we did yesterday, guys. Remember? Yesterday we watched that video, right? The American Girls in Paris, the video about Jean-Luc Brunel, okay? And the video about those young models, okay? Remember the models that were basically, they're going to Europe and they're all being paraded around and sort of pimped out by the modeling agencies. You had Karen models with Jean-Luc Brunel. You had John Casablancas of Elite Models. And of course, you had Donald Trump with Trump Model Management. Okay. And then eventually Jeffrey Epstein and Jean-Luc Brunel teamed together to create MC2, which was a modeling agency here in America in Miami and New York City. And now Epstein was running that right up until the time he got arrested in like 2005, 2006. Okay, but now Michael Wolff had talked to Epstein in great detail, and I've heard this before where Epstein was talking about how he was genuinely worried. He was fearing for his life from you know, Donald Trump, that like the whatever the circles that Donald Trump was connected to, which includes people like Ghislaine Maxwell's father and mobsters and whatever, the type of people that can get a casino built. I mean, there's a, you know, there, when people would come out with rape charges against Trump and they'd get death threats, they would like listen to the death threats. Okay. People getting death threats after an interaction with Donald Trump has not been an uncommon experience over the history of Donald Trump. If you research the man, you realize that like so I think, I don't know, man, the more I look into this, the more I feel like Donald Trump was more of a ringleader. Donald Trump and Ghislaine Maxwell were more of a ringleader, and Jeffrey Epstein was more of a, you know, sex addict that was, you know, abusing these girls. But I don't know that Epstein was like the ringleader of this shit. I think he was trying to compete with the trafficking that was happening from some of these modeling agencies, these guys that were, you know, and Trump was heavily involved in that shit. He was just really careful. Okay. He wasn't gonna like, you know, get a hand job from a prostitute from a trailer park. You know what I'm saying? Like Donald Trump was, everything he does in a much more protected, like tight-lipped environment, only around people who are going to fall on the sword for him. And I think he's able to create that type of like fealty because he can get people killed, you know? And that's like, I don't know, man. You know, I just know that I've never seen Trump and the Republicans so spooked by the Epstein files. There's something about the Epstein files that really has these guys spooked, you know? You know what I mean? I have not seen that, Miss Ruthless. If you find it, I would love to, you put that in a Discord. I'd love to watch it. Yeah, Too Close for Comfort was a great show too.
Midas Touch exclusive. You've never heard these details before. They come from Michael Wolff. Michael Wolff is Donald Trump's former biographer. Michael Wolff was also going to be Epstein's biographer. Michael Wolff met with Jeffrey Epstein multiple times.
Now, again, Michael Wolff being Trump's biographer means he knows a lot about Trump. You know what I'm saying? Like you know what I mean? He's like, he's like not, it's not some random dude guessing about the details of Trump's life, you know?
Spent hours and hours with Epstein, heard things from Epstein that nobody has heard before. So Michael Wolff is going to share these things with you. Michael Wolff also has connections deep inside the White House right now and connections very close to Donald Trump. Why? Because Wolff is Donald Trump's former biographer. He's developed this information. Now, Wolff has exclusive details. Over the past 24 to 48 hours, Donald Trump has apparently been calling up close confidants to tell them, you know, I didn't kill Epstein, right? You know, it wasn't me who did that, right? Do you know that? I want you to hear it in Michael Wolff's words, what Trump is allegedly saying to people that he knows.
Yikes, dude. Dude, the fact that he's walking around doing that type of damage control, dude, I mean, again, we saw Trump's first term. We know, I have never seen like people spooked about these files. I mean, these Republicans were like so gung-ho to get him, and Trump finally gets in office. There's nothing that can stop them from getting them, and they're literally running. You know what I mean? I don't know what is in there, but whatever is in there, it is like fucking devastating in some way, shape, or form. You know, I just can't even imagine what it is. You know what I'm saying? That has them so fucking out of sorts with it.
But I also want you to hear from Michael Wolff about other things that Epstein told him that led to August of 2019, when eventually Epstein died. Allegedly died by suicide. So this
allegedly.
Is never before exclusive, never before seen or heard exclusive content. What is Donald Trump saying about how Epstein died? Okay. What did Epstein say to Michael Wolff before his death? Stunning words. I want you to watch now. Hey, Michael, tell us, give us this exclusive info.
I had a conversation yesterday with someone who speaks to Trump often, and this person had spoken to Trump in the last 48 hours. Now, a really good way to understand what's on Trump's mind is to track the conversations that he has with this set of people who he calls often. I think my feeling has always been that that Trump needs to think out loud, and calling this list of people who he appears to trust, even though they might call me afterwards, is a way really to follow exactly what is on Trump's mind. In this conversation that he had within the last several days, he said to this person, "People say I had Epstein killed. I didn't have Epstein killed." Trump.
See, that's a big one, dude. Like the fact that he's like recognizing, you know what I'm saying? The fact that he is like coming to terms with the situation he has found himself in. You know what I mean? You know?
Said. And then this person said, "Well, do you think that he was killed?" And Trump replied, "A lot of people wanted him dead." I find this...
Yeah, that's really intriguing. Do you think he was killed? A lot of people wanted him dead. Now, I mean, how does Trump know that? Right? That's an inner circle type of thing. And you know what I mean? That's pretty, I mean, we know. I know whether Trump was engaging with the girls or not. Oh shit, I forgot, dude. We have a dance party. So after this, we're going to end with the dance party, guys. That's how we're going to go out tonight. I'm sorry, I forgot. We got caught up on the Dana Plato fucking twist. But so the whether Trump was like having sex with those underage girls or not, which I don't know if we're ever going to know the truth of that. I suspect it's something that happened from time to time. I don't think it was like a regular thing like Epstein 3 times a day. No doubt he was like out of control. Okay. But Trump is like whatever trafficking ring existed, whatever network of models and Eastern European girls and girls from Epstein and girls being pilfered out of Mar-a-Lago and the princes and business leaders and executives and politicians who were engaging in this, Trump was in the center of the people who were doing it, and he knew everybody who was doing it. He knew how they were doing it. He knew what they were doing, and he was definitely privy, right, on the inside of that, whether, even if he wasn't doing it himself, okay? Even if he wasn't doing it himself, he probably was profiting off of it for sure, but he was like not separate from it. There was none of that was going on with a blind eye. And that, I think, is enough to sink him like permanently. And I think he knows that. I think he knows that. And what's more, I think it could get him killed too. You know what I'm saying? It could get him killed as well. I mean, I don't think he's above getting fucking killed, right? You say Jeffrey taught Donald how to traffic? Yeah, see, I don't know that. I don't know if Jeffrey taught Donald or if Donald taught Jeffrey. And I do want to look at the Melania thing at some point too, because Daily Beast did an article about Melania and then she killed it right away. She like freaked out. Her lawyers went after the paper. And it's hard. Some of this is hard because of the threats of lawsuits and shit. You know, Donald Trump now is the full force of the government behind his legal pursuits. So that's a lot of resources. He's upped his resources. But
to be honestly a chilling conversation, which I've been thinking about. The idea that the president of the United States would have to say and go out of his way to say that he hadn't had someone killed seems chillingly to imply that he could have had someone killed. You know, and there's a way that Trump has often spoken about his belief that assassinations, both domestic and foreign, have been freely carried out by the United States government. And then the idea that there are a whole population of people who wanted Epstein dead.
I mean, look at this. This is interesting to look at because you got Ghislaine Maxwell, you got Sarah Kellen. I believe this is 𝗙់_𝗪𝗀𝗀𝗀, right? I don't know who that is, but you have fucking, dude, it's crazy. I don't even know who all these people are, dude. Who are all these people? Like, I mean, we know there's Trump, we know there's Bill Clinton, right? Is Bill Gates in here somewhere? Dude, yeah, this is nuts. Dude, I feel like I gotta break this fucking circle down and figure out who all these people. I know one of them is Prince Andrew, but I don't know which one it is. But you know, these people all basically got immunity, right? I'm sure there's other people that we don't even know, you know?
And Trump seems to include himself in this, and again, it's that sense on the part of Trump that he believed Epstein knew too much. And certainly in the case of Trump, Epstein could fill in a whole part of the Trump background. Those early days, Trump's early days in the real estate business, in New York. I mean, the real estate business in New York is filled with, matter of fact, I don't know how you can be in the real estate business without having direct connections to organized crime.
To the mob, yeah. There's no way. The real estate business in New York City was like, all of that had to do with the mafia. All of it did. In the 70s, like, man, the 80s, like, are you kidding me, bro? And then building a casino? Like, dude, come on. There's no fucking way you build a fucking casino in New Jersey without the mob. There's no way, dude. There's no fucking way, bro.
Certainly that was one of the things that Epstein talked about. There are years in which the two of these guys were pursuing models.
Dude, this fucking picture is so funny. Dude, the picture is so funny, bro. Trump is like,
models, doing whatever they could to get these women. This period in Trump's life when there have been accusations after accusations by a whole lineup of women. And then this was the period in Trump's life of his bankruptcies. And Epstein had an interesting view on this because Trump was forgiven personal loans that he had guaranteed personally of about $1 billion. Now, when you're forgiven personal loans, that immediately becomes income. And Epstein would talk about his involvement with Trump in hiding this money from the IRS.
Interesting.
What did Epstein know about Trump? That's a foundational question here.
See, yeah, that too is this goes back to that real estate deal in Florida too. Remember where Epstein was going to buy that $36 million big fucking beachfront property, and Trump went behind his back and bought it for $40 million without his money because Epstein knew Trump didn't have any money, and he finds out it was with the Russian money, and then the same guy who gave him money for it buys it from Trump 2 years later for like 2.5 times that, or right? And he was like, holy shit, what is going on? Like, I think Epstein had a lot of knowledge about the ins and outs of Donald Trump's finances that most people did not have, you know?
And I've spent a lot of time thinking about the ways in which Epstein was a clear threat to Trump, and especially after he became the president of the United States. But I think it's also important to think about what kind of threat Trump was to Epstein. I know at one point when Epstein would show me these pictures of Trump, again, it was I've described these before, but a set of about a dozen Polaroid pictures, 3 of which I specifically remember. 2 with girls, different girls sitting on Trump's lap, topless, and then a 3rd with a telltale stain on the front of Trump's pants with
Wonder what
4
that
or 5
was.
girls
Trumpy!
pointing at this,
Oh, Trumpy, the
topless girls
stain!
pointing at him and laughing. And I urged Epstein. I said, you should release these pictures. I mean, if for no other reason, I mean, and Epstein was already in trouble and already a figure which people were, he was already demonized. I said, maybe this will even help you. You can be on the side of right here. And I remember Epstein said, again, chilling at the time, he said, I may be a pervert, but I'm not crazy. And then he said, Trump is a man without any scruples. Chill went up my back then. And I think this brings us to August 10th, 2019, in that jail cell. And obviously all of the questions about what happened that morning are involved with why this story keeps going. And the question, I think that the largest question hovers over that is what did Donald Trump know about what happened that night? And I think in all of the Epstein files, that is the singular and pivotal question we need answered.
Can't get enough Midas? Check out the Midas.
Dude, yeah, that shit is crazy, dude. Like the mob connection, you know what I'm saying? I mean, the mob connection is just super fucking dangerous, you know? I mean, dude, plunge America head first into a major war before he allows himself to be exposed on any list. Yeah, I'm just curious, guys. I'm so curious because I want to know, like, what is in there? You know what I'm saying? Like, what is in those what is in those files that has everybody, like, they have, like, turned tail. They have. You know what I'm saying? The people, the Republican Party, they were so gung-ho, and now they adjourned Congress early. They're, like, trying to fight this thing. They don't even want to talk about it. They get asked about it, and they, like, yeah, something in there is, like, extraordinarily damning, because you know, if it was just a bunch of shit about Bill Clinton and a bunch of Hollywood figures, bro, they would put that shit out there in 2 seconds. Okay? They would have no problem. You know what I mean? They would have no problem, even if it was, like, not damning. If it was anything that could kind of look like maybe Bill Clinton was guilty. But there is some shit that had to have, like shake them to the core, you know? And I believe it's going to come out too. I believe, guys, I'm reading this book by Sarah Ransom right now. She's one of them. I believe, here's what I believe, guys. I believe that we're hitting an apex of victim determination. Okay? The victims have watched while Barry Krischer and Alex Acosta sank the original prosecution. They watched everybody. Jeffrey went right back to the same behavior, right back to the island. Literally, immunity. They got fucked. Okay, then these Miami Herald reporters rejuvenated this thing, and they brought it back through a series of hard-hitting articles and exposés in a book. And then he gets arrested, and then they're finally going to get his day in court, and then he gets fucking offed. Okay, and it goes away again. And then Trump wins again, vowing to release the files, and then he's like saying it's bullshit, it's a hoax. Now they're talking about a pardon with Ghislaine Maxwell and shit. And I think the victims are fucking furious, bro. And they realize that it's kind of like now or never. That now they can put all their chips in and try to light this thing and detonate this stick of dynamite. And if they don't, they're never going to get another chance. Like, this is it. It is like the last chance for the victims to actually have some type of effective change, you know? Some type of, like, resolution. And watching Virginia Giuffre, like, kill herself and shit, it's like, or kill herself. I mean, we don't know. Shit is bullshit. But now we fucking dance, bro. We dance, and I'm keeping the pressure on. I'm going to make 100 videos about this shit, bro. I am. I'm going to make videos about this until somebody relents or until I tire of it. But I don't fucking tire easy, so. But now we're going to dance. We're going to dance to our little Deja Vu song. Then I'm going to go make some videos. Right? Or I'm going to make a video and then I'm going to go to bed. I'm going to the Mariners game tomorrow. So that just means tomorrow, one video, a couple of shorts. Tomorrow won't be a lot of videos, but I will be streaming back at the regular time tomorrow. Maybe we'll do it a little earlier. Maybe I'll start at 10 instead of 11. We'll see. But I will be at the Mariners game in the afternoon. I will be back somewhere around 6. I will be streaming tomorrow night. Let's hope the Mariners win, baby. Right? Clean sweep. We're going to go out with a little fucking... Now we dance, baby. You ready? Are you ready? Are you ready?
They have a lot to say, but I've known coming up slowly. This feeling that I have now, almost a bit holy. An notion that I will make it out somehow. A little deja vu, I'm gonna get it right. A little time with you, and I can see it light. A little deja vu, I'm gonna get it right. A little time with you, and I can see it light. Things will turn out alright this time, I know. Let's go!
Let's go, baby! Dude, I will see you guys tomorrow, baby! Oh. Keep it real, boss! Stay positive. We're doing this, boss. Night 6, hearts hope I'm okay. You're alright, goodbye then. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Big love, baby. Have a good night, guys. Nothing is what I say. I feel far away.
Nothing is what I think I will After you, I'm afraid of feeling some too soon. Cling to what you're giving. Nothing is what I say. I feel far away. Nothing is what I think I will drown in pain. Yeah. Paint away, day and night, 6 hearts hope I'm okay. You're alright, goodbye then if you dare. Someone new is pulling everywhere. I'm afraid to let them. Nothing is what I say. I feel far away. Nothing is what I think I will drown in pain. Yeah. Nothing is what I say. I feel far away. Nothing is what I think I will drown in pain. Nothing is what I say. I feel far away. Nothing is what I think. Nothing is what I think. Yeah. 'Cause I will drown in pain. Oh. Red, red, who's your lover now? Red, red, who's it all about?